Hey guys, thanks for stopping in. Today is Black Friday, so rather than go out there and get myself trampled trying to get the last stuff on the shelf, I'm going to stay here and make some apple crisp with Cheerios in it. It's a recipe I've never tried before. So let's get toasting. I saw this on Facebook the other day and it looked like it'd be a pretty good toaster oven recipe. Pretty simple. You just cut up some apples. I think it said like 4 cups. So I'm just going to put them in that baking dish. These are Fuji apples, what I happen to have. So basically I'm just going to take the center out like that and then just kind of slice them up. I don't think it really matters how you do it. They left the peelings on theirs, so I guess I'll leave the peelings on mine, and I'm going to cut them pretty thin like that. And I think it said cook it about 35 minutes, but it might take a little longer than that in the toaster oven. We'll see. Okay, my apples are all cut up, so let's make the topping. That's an 8x8 baking dish. I ended up using 4 apples. That seemed about right. Now our topping is a half a cup of oats. That's wedding oats. I don't know what the heck wedding oats are, but it's what I had, so instant wedding oats. Alright, this is 1/4 cup of brown sugar. And also 3/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now I kind of mix this all up. And then to that I'm going to add 1/3 cup of butter. So let me get the butter in there, and I'll get that all kind of mixed together, and then we'll add our 2 cups of Cheerios. I'm going to use, the recipe called for apple cinnamon Cheerios, but I have cinnamon almond Cheerios. I guess that's close enough. So let me get this all mixed together and we'll add our Cheerios. That is mixed up pretty good. Now I'll add the 2 cups of Cheerios from the Stay Weird cup, so a little bit of weirdness goes in that as well. I'm not sure how much, but it just won't taste right without the weirdness. So I'm just going to mix this up with my hand a little bit, and we'll put it on top of the apples and get it into the toaster oven. I set my oven to bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And pull the rack out and slide the tray in there. That will drop the dish down a little bit lower, so hopefully the top won't brown or burn. I mean over brown or burn. Alright, it says let that cook for 35 minutes. I'm thinking it might take a little bit longer in here, so we'll see what happens. It's been about 25 minutes, and that looks like it's getting a little bit dark on the top. So I'm going to rotate it for one, if I can do it without spilling it here. And I'm also going to put some foil on the top. That should keep it from getting any more brown than that. Okay. Ow, hot. Alright. Okay. Hopefully that will work. This has been cooking for 1 hour and 10 minutes. I pulled it out a little while ago and checked it, and those apples still were not cooked. So I really do not have a very good feeling about this recipe, but I'm going to pull it out and we'll check it and see how it is. Well, I have to tell you guys I'm not happy with this recipe. In fact, if it was my recipe, I wouldn't even upload the video, but I started thinking, it's not my recipe. This came from the Cheerios website, so I followed it the way they said. It was one of those little short, like 30-second videos with no talking, and they just go through it and say add this, add this, add this. really no details, but the recipe's no good in my opinion, so I'll show you guys close up everything that I think is wrong with it. The first thing that's wrong is you can see how dark this got. The top burned, and that was after 20 minutes. It said to cook it for 35 minutes. So it should have at least been covered with foil, and then you take the foil off the last few minutes to let that brown, and that's just all burned and bitter. And you could argue that, hey, it's because I cooked it in a toaster oven, but hey, I've cooked lots of things in my toaster oven that turned out good that were supposed to be cooked in a regular oven, so that's just a mistake on their part and not telling you to cover it. The other thing too is, I cooked this for an hour and 10 minutes. It said cook it for 35 minutes, and I had my doubts of whether these apples would be cooked in 35 minutes. I didn't think that they would, and they're not. They're still like chewy, and they're almost like dehydrated apples. It seems like there should have been maybe a little bit of liquid added to the pan so they could cook better. And also there was no, it seemed to me there should be maybe a little cinnamon and sugar mixed in with the apples as well, and there was none of that. So basically, I think this recipe is a flop. To me, this is, do not even waste your time with this. They're just trying to sell you Cheerios. You don't need the Cheerios. You could just make it with some, oats and brown sugar and cinnamon on the top. This recipe was a disaster. It's like I said, I wasn't even going to post it, but it just makes me wonder how many other people tried this recipe and the same thing happened. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll talk to you next time.